It is story time with KSHSAA Covered, where we get to talk with one of the staff writers with the Kansas State High School Activities Association. And joining us here today is going to be Andy Brown. Is you're one of the new members of KSHSAA Covered? How have you kind of settled into the new gig, Andy?
Oh, it's going well. I mean, I'm joining a group of three, great writers, and they've really helped me along the way and helped me kind of get used to kind of what they want me to do, and then just getting to know some of the coaches around my coverage area as well has just been a lot of fun.
Well, you were able to back in early September, able to go ahead and cover and attend the outdoor volleyball match that was hosted by Mill Valley against Piper. When you first walked in, like what was your initial reaction when you came into the floor?
It was pretty amazing, to be honest. When I walked up to they had it at the Mill Valley Soccer Stadium, and there was just so many people there, people around the court, people packed in the stands. I thought for a minute that maybe I had misjudged the time, and so I thought varsity was playing already. But no, it was the JV varsity match, and there were just so many people cheering these girls on from Mill Valley and Piper, and um, it was a great experience just to kind of see the girls kind of live in the moment a little bit. I don't think many of them had played in front of that many people before, so it was a cool experience, and a lot of things went right that night, whether it was weather or anything else. I mean, it was a pretty cool event.
As you talked to school officials, did you get any word of kind of what the preparation was like as far as getting that thing ready and being prepared to go?
Yeah, this started back in I think somebody mentioned to me that it was over the summer that parents had approached the school and Coach Corneliuson at Mill Valley about doing something like this. So they started investigating kind of what it would take, and um, and then the AD at Mill Valley, Brent Bouchard, said he would be willing to do it. They would just need to get sponsors and all that stuff that kind of goes with an event like this, and the parents really pulled it off. They purchased the floor that the girls played on. They got a number of sponsors from around the community to kind of to donate to make this event happen. And it's just it was a cool thing to see a community come together and put something like this on that it hadn't been done in a long time. So I think Leavenworth did it when I was doing my research back in 2012. They had a cancer awareness event that they did. Leavenworth High School did, and so it had been a long time since something like this happened. And it was really cool to kind of see it come together.
I feel like it's starting to gain some popularity with those indoor sports going outdoor.
Yeah.
Obviously Nebraska volleyball did it, so they've moved some basketball games that have gone outdoor that have gone over really well. Any issues that night that came up with having volleyball outdoors, or did it go without a hitch?
Uh, well, to me, it was perfect. I mean, there was no wind, there was no rain. It was a beautiful night. It wasn't humid or anything. I mean, I don't think you could have asked for a better night for outdoor volleyball. And that was something that a lot of people there at Mill Valley were stressed about, worried about. What would happen if it was really windy or rainy or anything
Sure.
like that. And um, but yeah, it went off without a hitch. And I think maybe the only thing that caused any kind of issues was the girls not used to playing outdoors. There was the depth perception thing was a kind of a little bit of a change for them. And I know, talking with this coach out at Piper, they a couple days before that, they had a girl bring out a net from her backyard to the school so they could practice for a couple days outdoors, just to kind of get a feel for kind of what it was like to play outside. So, but yeah, they couldn't have asked for a perfect evening. It was pretty cool.
What were the girls' reactions afterwards after you talked to them?
I think they were happy. They were excited. Obviously, Mill Valley won. They're the two-time defending state champions in 6A, and they have a great team coming back. And you know they couldn't have been happier with the way everything transpired. They were happy to be a part of something new and historic. And you know you I'm pretty sure, a couple of them told me that this is something they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. And, it's just one match and what is going to be a long season for them, but it was something really memorable and something that, no matter how this season transpires for them, they're always going to look back just remember how cool of a night that was.
Yeah. Did any administrator allude to maybe they're going to do this on a consistent basis, or is it kind of up in the air right now?
I asked the Mill Valley coach that if she'd be interested in doing it again. She's like, I don't know. We'll kind of have to see kind of what happens. But it takes a lot to come for that stuff to come together.
Sure.
But honestly, I could see other schools venturing out and kind of doing the same thing. There's schools in other states that have done outdoor volleyball matches that have been big successes. And talking with Brent Bashar, the AD over at Mill Valley, he told me they estimated about 2,000 people were there.
Wow.
So I think it's something you could see definitely, at different high schools around the area in the very near future.
Andy, appreciate the time. Keep up the good work.
You bet, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is Andy Brown, one of the staff writers for KSHSAA Covered, and that'll do it for Storytime.